everybody, welcome back to Mad Max Saga. We're going to play Mad Max and talk about whatever I feel like. So, I'm feeling a lot better. Thanks for the support, everybody. I'm so sorry for the lack of content and so on while I wasn't feeling well, but I really appreciate all of you continuing to come back and listen to my
I do this alone.
ramblings.
Never mind the old Blackfinger and his sacred quest.
We're gonna run up here and talk to a guy for a minute, and then we'll get into talking about something. So let me see. I know he's up here somewhere. There he is.
There you are, shifter of sands, letter of blood, remnants of a ruined past. You say you seek the plains of silence, but do you not wander them right now? The remains of your life, a perpetual flight, an escape from all that is human, until one day, the plains of silence end, and you begin. You've a purpose in this life, my friend, although you fear to dream it. But pain will come, much more pain, before this purpose to you is made manifest.
You know nothing of me.
Look behind you, at dune after dune of drifting, half-forgotten terrors. You flee them always. These past phantoms, and the madness that crawls inside. You've come to Griffa for a reason, deep inside. Twisted around horrors from which you run lies your strength. Griffa can help. Help you venture down to where you daren't go yourself, and lay bare your true promise.
Alright, so this is the leveling up process of this game. I actually really enjoy this. You earn this stuff, you have to go find this guy. He tells you a little bit about yourself on the inside, and then you get to pick what you're leveling up. Which is really kind of cool. I don't know. I like the mysticism behind it. All that being said, when we're talking about the Mad Max universe, a lot of people, I think, when they think of Mad Max, they actually think of the Road Warrior and not Mad Max. We kind of talked about this in episode 1, the difference between, where this lies in the timeline, or at least where I like to feel like it belongs in the timeline, and stuff like that. We talked about a little bit about the movies, but Mad Max 1 was, as we talked about, was the fall. It was before everything had fallen apart. And I don't think a lot of people realize that, just being honest. The apocalypse world that everybody thinks of as Mad Max, where the cars are all weird and the language is starting to get a little wonky and all of that all happens in Road Warrior, and it's some years after Mad Max. And Road Warrior is probably one of my favorites, but if you've never seen it, because a lot of people saw Fury Road and they never really saw Mad Max before that. And so if you've never seen Road Warrior, Road Warrior is literally just like a little story that happened in Mad Max's life. He's traveling along. He needs gas. And there is a compound.
Any trouble?
I saw bad guys.
It's not really a city.
Wanting to steal her away from us. have to take her
but it's like
somewhere.
a large camp that is made up of
Yes,
old
we do.
car. Like the wall is made up of old cars and sheet metal and things like that. And inside they have
We need to install the
a
nitrous
tanker
boost.
truck. Now the tanker truck has gas, and I mean that's kind of the whole deal. Now, before Max can even think about going down there, he's like up on a hill and he's looking down, and you see this giant group of raiders that kind of encircles the camp, and then they pull up to the front gates, and there's a guy out there who's literally, he's just telling these people, he's like, just walk away, give us the gas, and no one has to die. He goes, but if you don't, we're definitely coming in there to take it. And that was the spark for what everybody thinks of when they think of Mad Max, was this mad dash for gas, this willingness to kill over something that was more precious than anything, because to survive the waste you needed fuel, and you needed to be able to get from place to place because nothing existed anymore, and in a lot of cases you weren't even on dry land. You were under, you were on the seabeds and stuff like that, because a lot of the oceans had dried up due to the nuclear wars. And so you get this image of this world that has gone awry, and you see people who have cobbled vehicles together and have tried to maintain at least this one element of the old world, which is the cars and the fuel and the getting from place to place. One thing I do notice about Mad Max is you don't really see a lot of animals around. When you do, like Mad Max has a dog, so you see the dog. But when you see animals around, it's not a lot of wildlife. It's like a few farm animals here and there and whatnot. You don't really see a lot of wildlife anymore, which is, I mean, that's what would happen after nuclear fallout and stuff. If there were survivors, there wouldn't be a lot of wildlife left. There wouldn't be a lot of readily available hunting sources and things like that. So you also get this image, and this happens in Road Warrior for the first time as well. You see him eating a can of dog food that's left over from the past. And I feel like they captured a lot of all of that in this movie, but they also capture it in Fury Road and even Beyond Thunderdome. The idea that there's not a lot around, and you're going to do what you have to do to survive. So it was a lot of fun. I very much enjoyed the idea and concept of this world that is just trying to hang on and do the best it can, and then just the way people are. One thing about Mad Max is that it showed the true nature of people very well, in my opinion. You don't get that a lot in films. You get a lot of things where it's like, oh, people are inherently good. And the reality of that is that that's just not true. People want to be good. People are inherently survivors. And that's a leftover from the caveman days, man. Like, where you just had to do what you had to do to survive. And what you end up with in a world that is lacking in resources and lacking in the ability to truly continue forward is people who are willing to take from weaker people. And what you do also get is that you see the survival instinct of a lot of these people. And there's the thing, a lot of these people might not have been those people before, but the need to survive has brought them to strong people. And those strong people might be bad people. Those strong people might be good people. And you get that dichotomy, that back and forth in Road Warrior, because you've got this guy who runs this compound, who's a strong individual who has gathered these people together, and he's like, look, we can find a place to live in peace. We can find a place. We can do what we need to do. And then you've got this bandit leader who has these people who he has made feel strong and powerful. He's made them believe that they can survive. And a lot of that has to do with the fact that he's willing to do what it takes to survive and steal from anyone else or do whatever he has to do it. And so there's an element of that there's at least a good deal of the people who are riding with him or driving around with him might not have been bad people to begin with, but they were given a chance to survive, and they'll take that chance. They'll do what they must to survive. And so it's an interesting element and view on the human condition. The problem that you see is that people are not inherently good or bad. People survive. The human race survives, and if you're looking at it from a cosmic point of view, right? The human race has been in existence for just a fraction of time. And through all of that, we have beat the odds numerous times on our survival. And I say that because if you look at things, if you look back into the caveman era and you look at things like the saber-toothed tiger, which was a vastly superior predator compared to us, we found a way to kill it. We found a way to fend it off. If you look at the wolf, the dire wolf, and things of that nature, the same kind of thing happens, is that we found a way to, not only did we find a way to survive it, we found a way to make friends with it, to tame it, and to turn it to fight for us rather than against us always, you know. And then you look at, say, a mammoth, which was not an inherently aggressive animal. I mean, yeah, it would defend its territory, and it would defend its young, and it was deadly as all get out. But it wasn't an inherently aggressive animal. It didn't come hunting us. We went hunting it. And out of all the things we could go hunting, I mean, there were deer and everything else. The human race was like, we want that one, that big one, the biggest one there is. That's what we want. And we found a way to do it. And it took us time. Like, it took us a lot of time to drag ourselves up. But the reality is that we were able to drag ourselves up because we have this innate desire to survive that is just built into us. There are a lot of animals in the world that know when it's time to lay down. They know when it's time to die. And the human race has not figured that one out yet. They've not figured out that it's possible that there's a time to die. And hopefully we never will. You know, hopefully we never will. Hopefully we keep scratching until the end. Until there's nothing left, until there's no way for us to even survive or anything else to survive. Hopefully what kills the human race kills everybody. Or kills everything. And hopefully it's not us. Hopefully it's not our own hubris, our own desire to continue scratching up. hopefully it's nature or something like that, right? Like it would be a sad, horrible thing to end up like Mad Max's world, where the thing that got us is us. But the way the world looks, that looks more and more likely, which is horrible. So we're gonna do a little talking here. I'll let them talk, and then we'll finish
Saint?
up.
Oh, Saint, come and see. Come and see, oh, Saint. Yes, she's... With these hands and the blessings of the sacred Illinois, she's come to life. My sweet angel combustion.
What did I tell you? V8, not V6.
Exactly. 8 is the magic number. You and me, we're gonna land a big chief. A bona fide bad boy. Huh? 429 cubic inches, 460 horses, holy rolling. Nobody could touch you on the blacktop day or night. Why, you'd be evergreen, eternal, road tripping with the gods.
Where is it?
Gas Town.
Let's go there.
No, wait. You can't just go to Gas Town. We need armor on my angel for that run. Yes, it'd take a long time, too. I'd probably need to get a couple of... cabbages.
Get in the car.
Wait,
Let's go. Get in the car. Come on.
Bam!
Those boys are the crew of Stankum, Scrotus's deadliest underling. You're profane defilers, scavenger scum. My tabernacle gone. All of it lost.
We have the car. We need to go. You know a safe place? Somewhere we can rebuild.
All right. So anyway, hopefully my philosophical viewpoints on the human race were not
Doesn't sound
too
so.
deep. That wasn't exactly where I was planning on going. But, as I said at the beginning of this show, this is just me talking about whatever comes to mind. So, if you haven't had a chance to watch all the Mad Max movies, if you've only ever seen Fury Road, I really suggest watching them. And watch them for the content, man, because, if you're expecting a Fury Road out of every film, you're not going to get it. They were made many, many years apart, and it's just not... It's not that anymore, it's just what it is. But if you get the chance to watch them, watch them. That way you know what's all going on in this universe, because it's a much wider universe than the Fury Road. And it's an incredible universe.
These nimble black fingers are skilled in such metallurgy.
We're going to head up here. I know we're heading somewhere, and I know there's going to be a lot more talking once we get there. And I'm probably going to end the episode probably directly after the next set of cutscenes. So I'm going to go ahead and call it a day for today, and hopefully you enjoy the rest of this little cutscenes, and hopefully you're enjoying the game and the conversation, because I'm very much enjoying myself. I'm having a blast playing this. I'm having a blast talking to all of you, and just kind of chatting about nothing. So Maybe next time we'll talk about Beyond Thunderdome and check that out. But anyway, we'll see you next week. Tell me what you like, what you don't like, and have a wonderful week, everybody.
Announce your business, or learn to love a bolt in the brain.
It is me, Chum Bucket, Master Wrench Jockey, and Skill Blackfinger, who's an acolyte to the angel combustion who beseeches you.
Who's your driver? Does he have any knowledge of medicine?
I fear not. Your pain must linger. I'm sorry, but he is a driver of otherworldly skills. Yes, you see.
Why would I need a driver of otherworldly skills? Scrap monkey!
Please, please, we aim to enter the Dead Barrens, and all my gear, it was destroyed by infidel scavengers, and we need to heal this machine. If you let us work here, why with his saintly wheel hands and my black fingers, we will deliver to you a bona fide respect. Praise be the prophet.
Let him inside.
Hey! Driver of otherworldly whatever. Come up here and yak. Wanna know why I let you in here?
I wonder.
It's not much of a car. You trust that little scrap monkey?
For now, not much of a stronghold.
Careful now. Don't want to insult a man in his own home. Listen, we used to rule this stretch, and now the warlord controls all and brings only death.
Warlord.
Scrotus, Scabrous, killed, I hear. Sawed him up in the head. But his terror outlives him.
A proposition then. I'll weaken their grip on these lands. You give us the use of your garage and tools.
Boom! I thought you could, you'd have a deal. And then what?
Gastown.
Oh, one peep at the jaw will change your mind.
What's the jaw?
The gate you gotta pass to reach Gastown. Look for it yourself. It's in Dead Barrens Pass.
Right before I do we have a deal?
Yeah. You weaken the influence of that dead warlord. And we'll have a deal. You should get your little black finger working on your car. Needs to be beefed up if you're gonna make good on our deal.
I have a deal with Jade. You build me that sniper rifle, then we head out. We have work to do.
Praise be! Oh, just you find me the parts, and I'll get cracking. I have it. I have it, Saint. And just help me find the requisite parts and some kind of a trigger mechanism.
Oh, you want a trigger, driver? Think we got some old gun junk in the cage? Take a look. Maybe your scrap monkey can make something of it. We don't have anyone can figure that stuff out anyway. Plus no ammo to talk of.
This should work.
Whenever you have something, Saint, I stand ready to do the good work.
Don't want you here. Not now. Not ever.
around us down here.
Long shot installed and ready for action. I'd say we've gained us an upper hand.